Welcome back to Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Jane Monreal. So a violent crime spree, if you haven't heard, spanned multiple locations in West Charlotte, ending in a deadly officer-involved shooting yesterday early evening. Left one person dead, the suspect dead, two people altogether wounded, and a woman kidnapped before police fatally shot the suspect. This happened all in District 2, represented by City Council member Malcolm Graham, who joins us now here in the Live Impact studio. Thanks for coming in such short notice, Mr. Graham. Happening in your district, what was your initial reaction?
Yeah, so disconcerting, right? Yesterday, I was at a press conference at 2 o'clock talking about public safety as it relates to things that we were doing in Uptown to ensure, which is a part of District 2 as well, to ensure that the residents of Uptown, those who go uptown to play, those who work uptown, feel safe. Cleaning the sidewalks after 2 a.m. in the morning, replacing broken benches, more police officers on the street. Really just kind of talking about some of the things that we're trying to do to ensure that people in Uptown feel safe. 2 hours later, we get texts in reference to an incident that occurred where, as you indicated, two were dead, a kidnapping, a car chase, ending with the perpetrator dead in the middle of the street. It's disconcerting for those in Charlotte who believe that Charlotte is not safe, because if you don't feel safe, you're not safe. And that's certainly a visible bad example of the reality of what's happening in Charlotte as it relates to public safety. Mm-hmm. A very visible example that occurred in the late afternoon during rush hour that started in a neighborhood, went on our freeways and landed up on a major street in our community. We can't stand for that. We still don't know all the particulars about the perpetrator. We do know that there was loss of life, and that our CMPD officers responded heroically and courageously, identified the threat, and unfortunately put down the threat in our community. And so I'm just heartbroken that yet again, as we try to make positive steps forward, addressing a wide variety of perception issues, but perception is reality. Right. And yesterday was real, and people were killed, and yet again we're responding to a violent incident in our community.
Yeah, public safety, we've been talking now, it seems like for months, about the top of mind that this conversation is really about public safety, violent crimes, and that this seems random. I know we're still learning the details, and there's no motive yet, according to the chief. And the trend, like you said, perceived by folks in the Charlotte area or even visiting Charlotte, it seems like it's an isolated incident, but yeah, how do you fight against this current topic right now?
Well, public safety is the team sport, and so it's just not what the city can do, it's what we all can do. We certainly need help from the North Carolina General Assembly. We simply just have too many guns on the street. When you talk about a lot of these incidents, 90% of them involve a gun. The proliferation of guns, the easy accessibility of guns, people willing to pull the trigger, not using any conflict resolution skills before pulling the trigger is a major cause of what's happening. So we need help from the General Assembly on gun laws. We need help from the General Assembly relating to magistrate reform, right? And more funding for the district attorney's office, more funding for public offenders, for technology in our court system. We need to work with the county as well as the state for more more resources for mental illness and mental health. Certainly, nonprofit organizations and churches, and working with our youth and youth offenders, making sure that we provide a roadmap for our young people, a diversion from doing terrible things that end up impacting their lives and the lives of many members of the community. So youth diversion programs, alternatives to violence programs that we have, all these programs and services the city currently, as well as our county partners, have always had. It's just the proliferation of the guns in our community, the high visibility of what's happening. Yesterday was high visibility, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, multiple locations. It shocks the conscience, and then everyone, rightly so, is upset, disturbed, and points back that somehow Charlotte is not safe. So we have to work towards that, and unfortunately, there's no microwave solutions. You can't put crime in a microwave and push a minute and we resolve it. It's going to take the stamina of a marathon runner, all of us leaning in, city, county, state, nonprofits, churches, to provide common sense solutions to a wide variety of problems that are really, really hard.
Yeah, do we talk about, there's so many aspects to it, like you mentioned, and is it something that we chip away at the same time, simultaneously? Is it a sense of putting the right sources towards one thing first, like paying it down? What's the approach?
I think it's a team effort. Like I said, I think that we have to do multiple things simultaneously, right? We have to continue to have conversations with our state legislators and those in the General Assembly, many of whom, have a different political affiliation, but being a Democrat or a Republican should not matter. What matters is, do we have a responsible approach to providing solutions for crime in our community? How do we work with those who provide mental health services within our community? Do they have the adequate resources to do their job effectively and efficiently? Do we have enough police officers on the street, right? And certainly that falls within the jurisdiction of the city of Charlotte in terms of making sure that we have police officers, 911 operators, those who provide the type of response necessary to crime in our community, right? And so I can go on and on. So it's a team sport. It's all of those things have to be done simultaneously on different fronts, because there are different organizations, different government agencies that have different priorities and ownership of some of these issues. Again, the city of Charlotte has nothing to do with the magistrate's office at all, have no jurisdiction with that at all. We have no jurisdiction over mental health, although we do provide some resources to those agencies that does. We do lean in on the unhoused population in terms of housing, but no direct jurisdictional control over mental health. And so all of us have to provide the services that we own and lean forward in a collaborated, coordinated fashion.
Absolutely. Your residents, what are they asking of you, and what are they telling you after, certainly yesterday, but certainly in the past 60 plus days now?
Well, everyone's just a little bit uneasy. There's a sense of uneasiness in our community. Now, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the days are going by so quick now, the CMPD released their crime report and demonstrated that all the stats were moving in the right direction, whether it was violent crime, property crime, overall crime, all down. People really don't feel that at all, right? A week after that, there was 4 shootings within 48 hours.
Right. Mm-hmm.
A 3-year-old was injured. We had the incident that occurred yesterday. And so there's this sense of uneasiness, whether it's in uptown, whether it's on our corridors of opportunities, whether it's Beatty'sford Road or I-85 in Sugar Creek, Reagan Drive, whether it's Milton Road and off the plaza. Everyone throughout this community feels that something different is happening. that there's a sense of individuals losing control. And again, part of what we also have to do, and the community doesn't do it because they just see the news report every morning.
Yeah.
Most of these aren't like the young lady that was killed on the transit
light rail.
station, right? That was unfortunate. There she is minding her own business, and she's attacked and killed. Or, again, we don't know what happened yesterday, but certainly someone was in their own home, minding their business, and all of a sudden they're caught up in a car chase with CMPD, no fault of their own. Those are isolated incidents for sure.
Yeah.
Most of the crime are done by people that know one another, right? So it's not targeted to a stranger. And so when something like this happens yesterday, where someone is pulled into this, or the young lady that was on the transit where she was coming home from work and was just killed, it shocks the conscience. It raised everyone's antennas that somehow we have to rally around a comprehensive approach to solving what is a real issue of crime in our community. Can't
Yeah.
back away from it.
Exactly. What do you feel is your assessment of CMPD's response? Chief Jennings said that they saved lives by responding and locating the suspect as quickly as they did. Do they perform well?
They do. So this is really not about what CMPD is not doing. They have always done a tremendous job in protecting and serving the community, whether it's in uptown Charlotte or on Beatty'sford Road or West Boulevard or Ballantyne, University City. Throughout the district, throughout the city, the men and women who wear the uniforms perform at a very, very high level. They respond to crime, right? In many cases, they try to prevent the crime before it occurs. And yesterday, their response, how they handle that situation based on what I've read and what I was briefed on, should be highlighted as how we want our officers to respond in a crisis. Unfortunately, when violence is used by police officers, that has to be reviewed. But I think upon review, and again, based on the information that I know and have been briefed on, I think they deserve high remarks for the service that they rendered on yesterday.
What message do you have for Charlotteans who witnessed this particular incident, because there were so many scenes involved, or perhaps shaken by what happened in their neighborhood, and those involved with who might be family members of the officers involved with this?
Well, I think for the community at large, first, I think each and every citizen in our community must really, when they're involved in disagreements, arguments, have to de-escalate quickly, right? Find some self-control, put the guns down, and don't pull the trigger. That seems to be the default position by so many others in this community, by just pulling a gun and shooting and asking questions later. And so there has to be some restraint from members of the community. Secondly, those members of the community who are impacted by crime, who saw what happened yesterday, know that our city, and I only can speak for me as the district representative and someone who serves on the public safety task force for Uptown Charlotte, who's been really leaning in on public safety issues well beyond the latest episodes before the killing on the transit, that we have to, and we will continue to do, policing our community a lot more assertively, not aggressively, but really being a lot more assertive in addressing crime, even minor crimes. It's like the broken window syndrome, right? If you don't fix the broken window, then something else happens, right? So we have to be a lot more assertive in addressing crimes and how we police our community. And we hope that our citizens will cooperate and with our police officers when approach, and give them the respect that they deserve. And lastly, that we will, our commitment and public safety is the city's top priority, that we will continue to police our community, that we will continue to work to ensure that if you're a mother walking your kid in uptown Charlotte, that you should be safe. If you live on any of our corridors of opportunities, that you should be safe. If you're a visitor living in our hotels, whether you're in a hotel in South Park, University City, in uptown, that you're safe. If you're coming to a Panthers game this weekend, we have a big game. Over 60,000 folks will be coming to see the Panthers and the Bills play. A huge game for us.
Yep.
That you feel safe coming to the game in a mass crowd like that. And so a wide variety of efforts, seen and unseen, are being made to ensure that public safety is at the foremost of everything that we do, all major events. Certainly what we're doing on our transit system, additional police officers there, private police there as well, the transit station itself, buses, streetcars. And so the awareness throughout the city is very, very high. Unfortunately, we can't have a police on every corner. And even when we do, like some instances in Uptown where there's a police officer right there, shootings still occur. And so
Right.
it's growing pains as a community, pains that we don't want. But I think if you wake up and watch the news in Austin, Texas, or Nashville, Tennessee, or Atlanta, Georgia, or Washington, D.C., some of the common themes are there in terms of how their cities are dealing with their crime issues. However, this is Charlotte, and we are accustomed to this, and we have to ensure that everyone feels safe and secure no matter where they live, work, or play.
I think that's well said. And the growing pains of Charlotte, indeed. As we feel that, Councilmember Malcolm Graham wants you to feel safe. It sounds like, you're doing what you can do. CMPD is out there. We have a lot of events in the Queen City putting really a focus and spotlight on this great city of ours. And I think that with that in mind, we appreciate you coming in and addressing certainly after yesterday.
And then lastly, to all the citizens, if you see something, say something.
There you go. Right.
That again, public safety is a team sport. And in neighborhoods, communities, in the malls, if you see something, say something, call 911. That's what they're there for, and they will respond accordingly.
Yeah, it starts small if you feel like you can't make a little difference, but you can. And, by the way, have you talked to the woman who was kidnapped? Any word on her condition or her? Still
too early,
okay.
Right?
Yeah,
so
right.
we're waiting to get more information from CMPD. My thoughts and prayers obviously are with her,
sure.
and again, we don't know the circumstances behind what happened there, so more information to come.
All right. Councilmember Malcolm Graham from District 2 coming in to talk to us about yesterday's officer-involved shooting, spanning a couple of scenes there from Hoskins Road out to the crash on Brookshire and Freedom Drive. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.